You know, here's another post from Tommy Robinson. So do you know what this is? Do you know what this is, Kurt?
Yeah, that's from Podesta's brother's art collection, I believe, right? That came out during Pizzagate.
So John Podesta, his brother Tony Podesta.
Yeah.
This was in his art collection.
Yeah.
Artwork by Kim Noble. John Podesta's brother Tony owns some of Noble's artwork, and that's artwork. And so what does that look like to you? It looks horrible. It looks horrible.
I mean, it don't look good, does it? As I said, I'm annoyed about it. It's weird that Tommy Robinson would work with Israel after knowing that Epstein and all this stuff is connected, but whatever.
That is gross. Yeah, I've heard about the artwork of Tony Podesta. I have heard about that.
Jenna's going to do a bad art podcast about it because she did
Epstein's
house art before anybody. Yeah, and I think you had that reporter on from local news. I can't remember what state it was, and he went over what all the Pizzagate thing was about, and then lost his job. But he did a very reasonable thing. Yeah, so that guy, that's why I first saw this. And I looked back into Pizzagate, everybody, if you thought that was just completely made up. I maybe would pull your head out of your ass and look back into it.
So they never explained what they meant. So this comes from John Podesta's emails where they would refer to say, maybe you should take that kid and have a pizza with them, right? So they kept using these code words, and pizza was one of them. And
Obama ordered 60 grand worth of hot dogs and pizza, which just so happened to be FBI code for what child traffickers call kids when they do what this art depicts to them.
Yeah. So it's really wild that they were, so you weren't allowed to, so whatever you're not allowed to ask questions about, there's something there. 9/11, Building 7. You weren't allowed to ask questions about Seth Rich. Now the FBI won't release his laptop for 65 years. You weren't allowed to ask questions about the COVID virus or the vaccine. You weren't allowed to ask questions about the lockdown, all that stuff. And so whenever you're not allowed to ask questions about something, there's something there. And you weren't allowed to ask questions about Pizzagate. If you were, you're crazy. Just like if you ask questions about 9/11, you're a truther. You're a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
So if you ask questions about Pizzagate and what the heck those code words meant in John Podesta's emails, they had to shame when it comes that hard. Remember, all I did was I covered a press conference by an investigator from the DC Police Department who was hired by the family of Seth Rich to investigate it. He did a press conference. I covered it. They put me in a hit piece in the Washington Post calling me a conspiracy theorist along with white supremacists and Nazis and pedophiles to try to demonize YouTube, and they put me in that.
Dirtbag left, I believe.
They called me the head of the dirtbag left because I asked reasonable questions any reporter would ask about an unsolved murder in Washington, D.C. It's an unsolved murder, and you're not allowed to ask questions about it. And so that's when I knew. And so same thing here. You weren't ever allowed to ask questions about 9/11, Seth Rich, COVID, and Pizzagate. You're not. So there's definitely something there.
You remember when Andrew Breitbart died? Now, I was never a fan of him back in the day, but I remember he had that heart attack at 40 or whatever it was. And that was right after he was on Twitter joking about how John Podesta is a child trafficker, and he can't believe that people are like John Podesta when he's a well-known child trafficker in DC. This was on Twitter. But back then, it wasn't a big... See, when these things were being posted, like this disgusting art on Instagram, that launched the Pizzagate thing because these psychopaths were posting this right and left. But nobody was looking at the time. So Andrew Breitbart made tweets about it. Then he goes on Greg Gutfeld show, Red Eye. And him and Greg, get this, I listened to a recording of it. They're making jokes about playing ping pong and Comet Pizza because of what a creep Podesta is. And I thought it was fake. So I messaged Greg and I go, you guys really had that conversation back then? And he goes, yeah, scary, right? Yeah, it was. Thanks for saying something. Thanks for bringing it up a lot, like I would have if that happened to me.
So Delete Your Handler says they don't collect art, they collect trauma in frames. This isn't expression, it's confession, wrapped in abstraction so the public won't scream. The painting isn't disturbing because it's symbolic, it's disturbing because it's not symbolic. The elites don't hide what they are.
They just did a full Holocaust of Palestinians in front of your dumb faces. You think they can't hide this?
They display it proudly, publicly, pretending it's edgy, while their victims never make it out of the basement. Tony Podesta didn't hang this in secret. He hung it in his foyer. Because the real spell isn't the painting, it's that no one tears it down. So I don't know if you saw these paintings.
Yeah, I've seen them all.
I mean, it's just I barely can even look at them, but Tony Podesta's hanging those types of paintings in his foyer at his house. John Podesta's brother.
Jenna just did an episode on these brothers in England and their art, and it is upsetting when you see what was in. You see what was in all of their. It's been around for a while. They've just been openly doing this. Go back and watch 80s movies. Every single thing in an 80s comedy you would call rape now.
Yeah. Hey,
is that weird to anybody?
You remember whatever happened to that story? Remember the tunnels under the synagogues in New York, and they found mattresses with what appears to be blood stains? You remember that?
I don't know who has thrown out a mattress in their life that wasn't covered in all kinds of stains, but I know them kind of Jews are going to use it as wall insulation and go a little cheap on that.
But what was the? Do you know what the end of that story was, James? I don't either.
I have no idea.
Everybody. Hey, there's all these tunnels.
But you can't. It's another thing you can't talk about. If you do a story,
you're not allowed to talk
Russell
about
did a bunch of stories about it. Dobular when he was filling in. Ask Russell, he'll tell you. I think that you'll probably find them. They're Ninja Turtles. That's what we found.
Oh, wait, remember when he made this joke?
In this room are some of the most important TV and film executives in the world, people from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. He's coming for you. Look, talking of all you perverts, it was a big year. It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care. No one cares about movies anymore. No one goes to cinema. No one really watches network TV. Everyone's watching Netflix. This show should just be me coming out going, well done, Netflix, you win everything. Good night. But no, we got to drag it out for 3 hours. You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer. And it's still more fun than this, okay?
That's a show.
Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way. So in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You like to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and off, okay?
Tom Cruise can't because he's a hardcore dark Baal worshiper. So that's why he's like, I'm supposed to say that. I'm America's uncle. I'm supposed to worship the dark god Baal on stage? I can't. I'm Tom Hanks.
So if you'd like to hear me make those Epstein jokes, you can hear me in Rutherford, New Jersey, Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Appleton, Wisconsin, Rosemont, Illinois, Chicago, Louisville, Kentucky, and Fort Wayne, Indiana. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.
All these worthless actors are now talking about Epstein because it might hurt Trump.
All
of them.
Oh my God! Before it was a groan line. Now it's like, yay!
Beach Ken Kyle can't get enough of it all of a sudden.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, they're all. Oh, now you guys think there's something to this Epstein thing. That's interesting. And the reason they're all cocky about it is because they know Trump won't rat them out. Because he can't. Because if the truth came out about how extensive what they've been doing is, and that includes the Diddy case, and the Franklin scandal, and Nickelodeon scandal, and the Disney scandal, and Marc Dutroux in Europe, and that's the home of the EU and Belgium, the West, the precious West that we have to protect from Islam and aliens or whatever, that will collapse. That fat family that goes to, Big Lots and eats Strombolis with the Rizzler, they will put their fried dough down and tear Tom Hanks apart with their bare hands if they find out the truth. So Trump can't do it. What are you looking for? The button?
I found Steffi.
That is not a joke. That's a straight fact.
Okay.
Hunter Biden's going, no, Epstein didn't kill himself. What are you talking about? You see Hunter Biden?
Yes.
He's not buying it?
Yeah. All right, over to Steph.
All right. Israel apologists are pushing the idea that Qatar has major influence over our government, BWICE4, EX- and using donations to influence Ivy's universities. Does anyone know the origins of this BS? Hungcat. No, Hungcat.
Whoa.
What?
You see that, Jimmy? That picture?
Yeah.
That's MK Monarch stuff. What they would do is, and these are the Nazis we brought back after World War II that formed the CIA with the OSS, not just the scientists, but the demented Mengele scientists, electroshock of kids. They would see how much torture you can take for mind control. This is all known. And when you get in that position, the fetal position, that means that kid can't take any more torture, so they know his limits now. The woman we had on Juliet, what's her name, that put the file, this has already been disclosed that this is a real program. MK Monarch is not fake. The NSA archives, they disclosed it in 2024, and I didn't even hear about it until you had that guest on.
Wow.
But I guess Pizzagate is far-fetched, though.
I like this. John, come to me. John Podesta's friend who debunked Pizzagate was arrested for... Look what he was arrested for.
He's not the only one. There's another guy, too. Two of the foremost ones. Him and there's another dude who looks even more of a toy box, hidden in the toy box guy. Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. It's
John Podesta's friend who debunked Pizzagate arrested for diddling toddlers.
And all around Washington, they all know it's not bullshit. Okay, and I know that for a fact because of my friends that I've known for many years that are reporters. And I'm not going to tell you a story on air, but way back when I didn't care about this, somebody I know calls me up and tells me something crazy. And I go, what? Yeah, no, if you do a little digging, you'll find out. But it's dangerous, too.
But do you see this? So that's John Podesta and his brother Tony. And then some kids got kidnapped, and they gave a sketch of who they thought they were.
Yeah,
People-
it was Skippy and his brother.
People say it looks like them. I don't know.
You don't know? I mean, it's unbelievable. I've never seen a police sketch even be that good in my life before that.
It's a pretty good sketch.
There you go, Spaceman Clinton. Corruption runs too deep within every Western. That's right. Look at this. This is crazy. This girl taped to a table. They were openly posting this for years on Instagram.
Whoa.
Oh, I've never.
Yeah, nobody looked at it at the time. They just dismissed it because it's too awful. That can't be real.
That can't
And
be.
that's how you hide secrets, with shame and degradation that no one wants to talk about. And that's a perfect way to not. You could disguise anything using it. That's why they do this. Scumbags.
All right, over to Steph.
That the artist Kim Noble.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know if you know anything about her, but
it's a guy.
oh, really?
Yeah.
It is?
Kim Noble? Yeah, pretty sure it's a guy.
I thought it was a girl too, but maybe I'm wrong.
Look it
I'm
up,
thinking of
Kurt. Look it
Kim.com.
up.
Okay. All right. The guy. I looked up the wrong person then. Hey, Burmy brother. Not sure if you covered this, but congrats to Gina Carano for winning her lawsuit against Disney for wrongful termination after expressing her
did?
views. That's what Burmy brother says.
Yo, Jimmy, Kim Noble, I know who that is. That's the scumbag who he's like a comic. And back in the day when people do the Edinburgh or Edinburgh
Yeah.
Fest, the Fringe Fest, he was famous for handing out cups of his jizz to the audience at his one-man show. That's when I first heard of him. I'm sure there's nothing weird about him though.
Okay, here we go. Next. That's interesting about Gina Carano. Look that up. Thank you very much. And MNP gifted 1 subscription to Jimmy Dore Show. Thank you. When they banned TikTok, everyone went to Red Note and started learning about how nice China is and how affordable it is. Can't have that, stoned socialist. People have been getting around the facial ID by using stuff like video game characters and AI-generated images, Vienticus. I hear you also need age verification on TikTok now. I haven't confirmed, Vienticus.
Oh, wait. Kim Noble, the guy I'm talking about, that's the comic. There's a woman who's that artist. And guess what? She has 100 personalities. She's
Yes,
also
that's
known
what.
for.
Yeah, when Jimmy
So
said
that
it was.
means-
Yeah, I have that article right in front of me. It's
So
really.
she went through that. She
It's
went,
really
she had it done to her.
tragic. Well, they talk about she was a child who endured abuse and that she has memory loss. So
Those
she
are her
has over
memories.
100 personalities.
Oh,
Yeah,
so those are her
The things
memories.
in those paintings are what they did, she witnessed. And these freaks really enjoy that they did that to someone. And that's why the Podesta brothers would collect her art, not because they're concerned about what was done to the artist.
Yeah, it's tragic. We have the same thing happening down under. Jillian Seagal, our anti-Semitism envoy's husband, gave 50 grand to advance an anti-migrant social media psyop. It's all by design. Dobther? My mom said Finger Hut was her nickname in middle school. Savannah. Thank you, Savannah. My real name, thank you very much. My real name, late 1970s, was when there was a huge number of workers building the Alaskan pipeline. That's likely why Alaska was last remodeled then, Sparky. You can report IDF criminals spotted in the wild to the Hind Rajab Foundation. They just locked up one in Norway, I believe. Really, Jules? That's interesting. Kurt, I appreciate the random rabbit holes. I'm the dude cracking up. Appreciate ya. Paul.
James Lee.
Why not combine the two? Grab him by the most moral pussy in the world. Also, get your mind out of the gutter, Jimmy. I don't like having company. Vienticus.
Hey.
That's how they fool so-called intellectuals. They set a false premise, then let logic take its course. Sparky.
Okay,
Back
so
to Jimmy.